That's good to know. Well, I mean, what about, are you famous with any, I mean, not famous, do you know any famous, like, celebrities that try to befriend you? And
yeah, I've got various sort of people that are sort of doing this for a living. Yeah, I guess I don't know any sort of mega stars or super stars or anything like that.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't know what you'd even call a mega star these days.
I'm not sure. I don't know how much of a mega star people really are. Like mega crap. What sort of advice would you have to any aspiring artists that end up, you know, working on their own? There are not that many people who work on their own, and you're one of the few musicians, I think, at least that I know, that do everything by themselves, even from updating your website to your promotional stuff. Like, what would you give to, say, an aspiring artist, someone who does everything on their own?
I think,
isn't it?
For me, the most important thing has been to, when you make your record, and your record goes to a record company or wherever it goes and out it goes, you must not be precious about it. You must be pleasantly surprised.
Precious?
No. Yeah, you must be precious about it. You must not think it's God's gift to music. That you must not think it's so special. You must not think that you've contributed something to the world by making an album.
Why not?
Because you haven't.
Why?
Because you haven't. It's just
so good. What if you're very proud of it? Wouldn't that
be proud of it. Be as proud of it as you can be. Make the very, very best album that you can make. But if you want to survive, you have to let it go. You must not think it's special, because no matter how successful you are, the vast majority of people will not like your record. If you're number one in England, right? I was number one in England in '79 with a song that sold 1 million copies. In England, that's a big deal. There's 60 million people in Britain, so that means 59 million people knew about it but didn't like it. 1 in 60 liked it enough to go out and buy it. So the vast majority of people, almost everyone you meet in the street, knows who you are but doesn't like what you do. So forget all that thing about contributing to the world, right?
I don't mean contributing, expecting people would like it, but I mean being happy that if you were to die tomorrow, that you're happy that you've left something in this world.
Yeah, but you're asking me to give advice to people, aren't you?
Oh, I completely forgot my question. Yes,
well,
that would be it.
Well, that's the advice in. Don't be precious about what you do. Make the best album that you can possibly make, but when it goes out, be pleasantly surprised when people like it, not be devastated when people don't, because most people won't. And if you can get around to that, your ego will survive intact. The best thing to do when you make an album is get rid of your ego, stick it in a little box in the corner and never open it up again. Because ego is the thing that drives you into drugs and drinking and trying to cope with all this shit that comes with it. Get rid of all that. Get rid of it. Don't need it. Don't need it.
Have you gotten rid of all that?
Absolutely. I have no ego whatsoever.
Really?
Nope.
Wouldn't that make you like spineless?
Got nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it.
You just
Why does ego mean that you have spine? It's not the same thing at all. I am phenomenally resilient, but I have no ego whatsoever. I do not think that what I do is special. I do not think that I am special. I do not think that people that do this for a living are fucking special, for that matter.
Why don't you think you're special for doing?
Because anyone can do this.
Anyone can do
there are, like I said before, there are 1,000 people on every street corner that can write songs. Writing songs is one of the most disposable. It is the most disposable of the creative arts. There are tens of thousands of people in America alone, all in bands, all pretty good, all out and about doing their stuff. Tens of thousands of them.
More than others?
That's so much of that is down to luck.
I don't think stand out in the main.
My album, my Jagged album, might be arguably better than the album that's number one at the moment.
Yeah.
Probably isn't, but it might be. And whether that album gets to number one or not is very much down to how much help, exposure and luck and money you spent on letting the public know it's there, what opportunities you get. You know, do you get MTV making you Artist of the Week? Because if you do, you're probably going to be quite successful. If you don't, and if the radio don't play you because your music's too heavy or too whatever it might be, no one's ever going to know that you exist. So it's nothing to do with the music almost, it's what opportunities you get to let the great buying public know that it's there, and know that you're there and know what you do. And half the trick of this business isn't about making music. Man, that's easy. Loads of people can make music. It's how to work the business, and that's what I'm shit at. Shit. But I have no idea how to manipulate the music business, and so I'm still flogging around in a bloody tour bus after 30 years, doing my best. And I love it, which is lucky, because if I didn't, I wouldn't be doing it.
You're yourself through independent means, you know. I mean, even alternative media has approached you, and even through your website, people are buying things. It's, I don't know. I just don't think it's necessarily a privilege to be on like MTV's #1. I mean, it would be good to get publicity, but I just don't think that should be someone's goal. I'm not saying it's privilege.
I'm saying it's good for publicity.
Okay.
And if you want to sell albums, you need publicity.
Yeah.
These are very, very powerful mechanisms to get you in front of the public.
Yeah.
When the public see you, they then have the choice to either like you or they don't. At that point, I have no argument whatsoever. If I was to go in front of television in front of every American household, and not one of them bought the record, I have no argument with that whatsoever. But you had your chance, nobody liked it. I'm cool with that, you know. But it's that constant search for these opportunities that can become a little bit frustrating at times. But the point is, it isn't really anything to do with whether the music is good, bad or indifferent. It's the opportunity you get for people to hear it. That's the problem. Writing good music isn't necessarily a problem, and I do believe that many, many people can do it. Thousands and thousands of people can do it. Thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands all around the world. It isn't. Writing songs is not the most difficult thing in the world. It really isn't.
Well, what about writing songs and composing tunes and everything else? That's not always going to be that. I don't think the average individual can do that. Writing songs, I mean, doing what you're doing.
Oh no. Have a look. England is quite a small country, right? And we have something like 500 or 1,000 new singles released every week. Every week. I mean, imagine what that is in and that's in a tiny little country. And that's just the bands releasing singles. There are 10 times as many bands that haven't got deals, that are still out there doing their things, playing their little gigs, trying to get deals. There are many other artists that do have deals but don't release stuff very often. You know, there are so many people doing it. All of these people have got a certain amount of fans. All these fans think that their band is the favourite. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's that. It's like I'm not curing cancer. You know what I mean? That's special. That's special, man. What we do is just nothing special.
I don't think it's nothing special. But that's just
well, the more people that think like you, the better it is for people like me. So great.
I had also another question. I noticed on your website, like, you're involved in some charity work called Caring for Cats or something like that. Whose idea was that? I just can't remember how it started. They approached me, maybe through my wife actually. I'm not sure. Well, my wife's a big cat person. Yeah. Oh. I've become one, but I wasn't before. Do you relate better to animals? No, nothing wrong with that.
I relate most.
I'm just saying because they're not. I mean, you know, it's just their instincts are basic. You know, you treat the animal nice, animals.
Pure, yeah. Pure instinct. I love them for that. No, I relate best to machinery actually, in a horribly nerdy kind of way. But me and aeroplane, man, I love aeroplanes and big. I used to fly World War II aeroplane. You'd have a World War II aeroplane, and big, powerful, rugged.
That
bit
sounds
of stuff.
Really hard to do.
Yeah, that's a bit more tricky. But you see, the thing about people. This goes back to my Asperger's, I guess. The thing about people is, they can let you down, and they can do it on purpose. They can deliberately hurt you, deliberately lie to you. They can do all of these things which used to make me the cynic that you are at the moment, and now I've grown out of.
Really not that cynical.
Older.
I think I'm very cynical.
But the thing about machinery, that doesn't happen. You can trust them in a way that's different. If a machine lets you down, you can absolutely guarantee it didn't do it on purpose. It's just having a bad day.
I know.
Can't say that for people.
I know, but it's not always that easy working with people.
It's what?
It's not always that easy working with people.
That's my point exactly. Yeah, it is easy working with machinery because you can trust it.
Yes.
Press a button, it starts.
Except when it breaks, then you have to buy a new one.
Yeah, but that's the point I see. But if it breaks, it didn't do it on purpose. If somebody lets you down, you can't say that. There's a good chance they did it on purpose to spite you.
Yeah. Well, not always.
I love machinery, I just do that.
Maybe if they spite you a number of times, you might get the idea. from a person.
All right.
But I was just wondering about that caring for cats thing. You have a lot of cats and stuff like that in your house?
6.
You have 6?
6 cats, 2
Do you
dogs.
feed it like regular pet food from the can, or do you feed it fresh food?
From a can and dry biscuit.
The only reason I asked about that is just that, there's a lot of
foil packets.
Yeah, but there's a lot of chronic illnesses actually caused by that kind of commercial pet food, including dry food and from the can, and a lot of cats are susceptible to like urinary tract infections and cancer. Has any of your cats been sick?
No.
Never?
No.
I'm just saying those are just not very good foods to feed your kids. It's always good to feed it fresh.
Foods are excellent.
No, they're not. They're made from,
Excuse me, young lady.
No,
I think you'll find that British foods do not contaminate their cats.
No, but like the pet foods, a lot of them are made from dead animals from slaughterhouses,
and
that's
isn't
why.
It? It's the one that we were told about.
It's ions, and it's also most of the foods. It's just from leftovers from carcasses, and those animals have been injected with antibiotics and a lot of diseased animals. So that's how.
Our closest friend is a girl that works for these animal rights societies. In fact, she just started working in New York for animals. Moved from England to here a few months ago, and she has the absolute latest information, is part of all kinds of underground research and goes on little hunt sabotages and all these various things anyway. And we have it on good authority that the food that we feed our cats will not give them cancer.
Oh, that's good. But I'm just saying it wouldn't hurt to feed them fresh food once in a while or something. But that's just my opinion. What do I know anyway?
I don't know. Maybe you're a cat expert.
No, but it's just that's what I've noticed. I just had a number of friends, who it's come down with that, and the dry food is not protein. It's really, it's just not made of meat, and it's very alkaline, and that's one of the causes of that urinary tract infection thing.
Right.
But anyway, if you haven't had that experience, then that's good.
Not so far. And they're very old now.
Same thing with dogs too. So.
Okay. Dogs. Picture of health, our 2 dogs.
Okay, so then that's good. If they're old and you don't have a problem with them, then that's good. And their coats are shiny.
No. Very healthy, all of our animals.
Okay. See, our animals are all very healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anyway, you said you like doing flying and everything like that. Would you ever do like a documentary about it?
Done one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we made a documentary called The Radial Pair, which was the name of our display team. I was an air display pilot for years, about 10, 12 years. And we made a documentary about that team. And I sponsored an air show many years ago. We made a documentary about that as well. Just looking at the air show. So. Yeah, we
nice.
Yeah,
because it's not available on your website. I mean, you don't sell it as a
we
film?
do actually. If you go to there's a thing called News Street, which is the shop part of our website. And if you click on the videos link, they're in there. I'm just going to re-release them on DVD actually in about the next 6 months or so. But they are there, yeah. But they are there.
Okay, I probably didn't dig all the way in.
Okay.
That's good to know. Now people will watch the interview and know. And have you ever thought of doing music videos? I mean, when you come up with a song, do you come up with like a concept, a vision of how? Maybe you ever put it on film?
Yeah, but we've had several singles that we made promo videos for.
Do you personally like to have concepts and visions about, what a music video should be about?
Yeah, very much so, yeah.
Are there any new ones that you've worked with?
There's a video from the Jagged album. There's a song on that called In a Dark Place, which we've done a video for.
It was your ideas how to set everything up?
Yeah, well, I worked on it with a man called Paul Green from England, and we worked on various ideas for it, how it would look. Really, the angle of it, just the way it was filmed and so on. It's not some deep bit of art.
No, I mean,
it really isn't.
You had when you did your music.
I went out and picked the location for it, so I knew where I wanted the cameras to run up this stream that come up in the back. All the various parts to do with it, how the band would be laid out and so on. But to be really honest about it, I mean, I'd have thought any artist that made a video would be involved to that sort of level. Now, what you're going to just turn up and have somebody say, stand there, sing your song, that would be really boring. But when I remember, I am involved in everything. I always have been. Yeah. I do my own album covers, or even actually lay out the lyrics on the little booklet in the CD. I do all of it.
I know about that. I just.
A video is an even more important aspect of it than that, if you like.
Oh,
It's very important that the video looks like it's all part of the same thing, all part of having all the little pieces working together. And the video is a very, very big piece, so it's important to get it right.
It's almost like a storyline.
It's a thing that people are going to see probably more than anything else. You know, they're not going to go through a record shop and scan through your album cover unless they're an absolute fan. People are going to see the video, and so what that video projects is a vital part of trying to get people interested in the record that it comes from, the album that it comes from. So the whole imagery of it, the style of it, everything about it is a very, very important part of the album itself. So you need to be involved.
Videos are pretty important. I like watching it, you know, to music, especially to a song, and it's always good to have what the artist has to say about it. I mean, their visions. Actually, can I just change my tape? I'll finish in about 5 minutes. I just would want you to be cut off. I'll just finish up. I think you have sound check, right?
Yeah, pretty soon.
Yeah. Also, my other question was, I heard something like that you were into writing novels and stuff like that.
Would like to.
What sort of novels?
Science fantasy. I think you know Stephen Erickson.
No, I don't.
Stephen Erickson, David Gilmour, people like this. It's all. There is no technology. You know, the most advanced thing is a sword. So that kind of stuff.
Is it the characters and stuff like?
Yeah, all heroic.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. Robic?
Heroic.
Heroic. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Robic.
No.
I just heard the last two syllables of the word, and I was not. Oh, you like heroic characters?
Yeah.
Oh. Will there be any kind of assortment of dark characters?
Oh yeah, plenty of that. But I mean, I haven't written it yet, so
just something in your head.
Yeah.
Just something that's.
Something I would like to do when I'm older and when I'm not doing music as much as I am
But
now.
you could still. Oh, I guess you'll be too busy to.
Yeah, I've got 2 kids as well.
Yeah.
Things are pretty busy.
Do you feel like a little bit like you have to be overprotective of them? I mean, I don't know.
I don't.
Being a father?
Yeah, I think so.
Worried, I don't know. Like you wouldn't want them to grow up to be someone. I don't know, just the usual standard worries.
I'm not worried about what they're going to grow up to be. I'm worried about what might happen to them as they're trying.
The child, like the way they're imprinted or something.
Just things that can happen in the world. It's a dangerous place, full of bad influence and so on. So yeah, it's just 1,001 things to worry about.
But they haven't started school yet, right?
No, almost. The older one. Preschool in September.
Is that when they're 4 years or 5?
We start preschool at 3. They start conventional school at 4.
Oh.
So she goes 3 mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 hours each day.
Are they doing well at school?
Well, no, it doesn't start till September, but that's what it's going to be.
Oh.
And the younger one's only 1.
Is it private? Is it a private school? Oh. So no one will bother them being the human's children?
Well, you never know. It's still possible, but there's less chance of it there than there is with a normal state school.
Oh, I see. And, alright, well, oh, have you ever read Enid Blyton when you were a little boy?
Enid Blyton?
Yeah.
I don't think I did when I was a little boy, no, actually.
You just don't really care for her book?
No.
I don't know, maybe it's, no?
It's not something that I ever got involved with, no.
You never read any of Enid Blyton's books?
Not that I know of, but I mean I could easily have done and not realised what I was reading. I was never that bothered about who wrote something, it was just a story.
Oh no, I've always liked her books. I read like all her whole collection.
Really?
Yeah. There's like a lot of different characters that I thought was good. Anyway. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to say before?
God no. How much have we talked about?
I know, but I mean anything with regard. I mean, you're touring Europe also.
Done Europe. We did Europe in April.
How
April,
was
May.
the European reaction? How is it in Europe?
Europe was really rubbish.
Really?
Actually, yeah, it was really disappointing. My situation in Europe is that I signed a deal with a licensing deal with a record company in Britain called Cooking Vinyl, and so you inherit Cooking Vinyl's European distribution as part of doing it. So I wasn't signed to any of the European labels directly. So those labels suddenly find that they've got Gary Numan albums to sell, and they didn't actually sign me, so they quite probably don't actually want me or even know how to sell the sort of music that I make. They might not have any kind of understanding of this sort of music compared to some of the other things that they might sell. And so what we found when we got to Europe was there was very little, if any, record company interest whatsoever. So the promoters were struggling because they couldn't get the record companies to help them out, and it was all an absolute total waste of time. So what we're going to do now in Europe is when we go back is to go back and hopefully, wherever possible, just do festivals. which is a much better way of doing
the
it.
audience that came were just not...
The audiences that came were okay, but not enough came.
Oh, okay. Just the way everything else was handled.
Yeah, just no one knew that we were coming. There was no media interest while we were there, so nobody knew we'd even been.
Really?
No, it was just an absolute, really expensive waste of time and waste of money. A lot of money too. So it was rubbish.
I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't think...
Yeah, I was pretty sorry to experience it, actually. It was rubbish. But we know we know what was wrong, and we think we know how to fix it. So when we go back next time, it will...
You're going to play more festivals and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, so I think that's it with my show, unless you'd like to say anything else.
No, I'm done, thank you.
Okay, so here I am again with Gary Numan on his Jagged tour and promotion of his latest album, Jagged. So hopefully you guys could listen to his album, Jagged. And I was wondering, can you possibly say hello to my show? Would you be interested?
Sure, yeah.
This is the name of the show, Miss Divine He. It's just a guest on the show.
Was that what?
It's actually hour in French. I tried to make it sound cool.
How do you pronounce that?
I would say or ear. Because I'm bad at French. So it never sounds right.
So is that Miss or Ms?
Just Miss Divine. He. Yeah.
Okay.
You can say it any way you want to.
Well, I'll start that one, sir.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Gary Numan, and you're watching Miss Divine's Her.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right,
Good luck.
Thank you.
With everything.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your time, too.
That's all right, no trouble.